Welcome back to my spiritual experience with your host, Brother Sadiq. I am really tripping on something I just saw. Our president, your president, America's president, the president of the United States. Yeah, he did something that was unthinkable. I know he's been a firecracker. I know he's the trump card, as I've said, but what it seems he's doing is sacrificing the country for his own protection. I'm looking at what is going on, and I mean, you can read to a degree behind the scene what is happening. I mean, the Epstein files are coming out and they're getting really explosive. And it seems his name is being mentioned all throughout the Epstein files. And he has a history of a case with a 13-year-old and accusations of rape and stuff like this. So this is getting tense for him personally. And so he made a post with this little cross symbol that I'm quite sure is related to a specific racially inspired group. And he had the cross on his post, and the post said, "Hang them, George Washington would." And he's talking about the Democrats. And I'm gonna just be frank. I think, in my opinion, that is more than just a statement that he's giving, and he's stating, that's for me, in my opinion, I think it's a dog whistle, towards a race war. And his intention is for us to have a race war, which would cause, not only his intentions, but if you look around, the social engineering is somewhat designed to bring about the tension of a racial war, a social or civil unrest, civil war, civil conflicts. And if that was to happen, of course, that would be tragic for our country and the people involved, but it would also give him power to implement the rule of martial law, right? Martial law would then eliminate, depending on how long it stands, the opportunity for him to be impeached or any other of the legal things that may take place in relation to all that is going on with these with the Epstein files, right? Also, there is a prophecy that Trump is the last president. I don't know how much weight I put in it, but it seems like it could quite be, because what's coming to light is that America isn't even a country. America is actually a corporation, and it is one of three international corporations that are part of a very big picture that most people will never be able to clearly see. America being the military wing, the Vatican and Rome being the religious wing, and Great Britain and English, the mother country, being the, I guess you would say, the political wing. And so with all of these things coming to light and people becoming more aware of this, I could see how Trump would be the last president. But I don't really like talking about politics. The reason I'm talking about it, because I believe it is a necessity, with the fact that the leader of the country has just stated to whoever may be interested in listening, whoever may be on the fray, whoever may be what they may call a sleeper cell, to activate and to go out and to harm and to unalive his political opponents and those who he disagree with. And I don't think it would be wise for me not to say something. I mean, come on, man. I mean, this is the thing for me. Like, y'all see all of the corruption that's going on in the public eye every day, from the news, from the politicians, from all the aspects of these social structures that we have believed were something that we're part of a reality. What we're seeing is them falling apart, coming apart at the seams. And for some of us, it's causing a state of cognitive dissonance where we recognize that our world is falling, apart around us, but we don't really know what to do. And so what I am on here today to try to tell you what to do is to recognize that if you don't pull out what is inside of you now, if you don't go into yourself and entertain and introspect and ask questions of your creator, whoever you think that may be, you are really going to be at a loss in these times. We are living in a time of extreme deception. What is her name? Linda Moulton Howe. She says that what we're actually looking at and dealing with when you attempt to break it all down and to discern what is going on and who the players are and why this was done and what move they intended and what was their goal and what were their positioning for. She said it's like a 12-layered chess game in a house of mirrors. And so if any one of you knows that chess is a somewhat complicated game, and if you say a 12-layer chess game, that means one move has 12 layers, and it's not as clear as you might think. And then if you add a house of mirrors around that 12-layer chess game, we're talking about levels of complication that the average person would generally, like you said, be overwhelmed in trying to comprehend. And so that is what causes the state of cognitive dissonance. It is sometimes too much for a person to try to comprehend and understand and to wrap their head around, in the sense of, what can I do as an individual to change this? What move could I make? What individual thing could I do as a single person? What relevance do I have in changing this? That is what I believe the sense of cognitive dissonance comes from, right? The inability and the ineffectiveness to change it. So you see it, but you choose not to look at it. You choose not to engage it. You would rather avoid it because you don't have an answer for it. You would rather avoid it because you fear it's more than you can take. It's more than you're able to deal with. And so rather than looking at it, focusing on it, attempting to find a solution to the problem, you avoid looking at the problem. You put your head in the sand, as they say, and you act as though it's not a part of your reality when it is affecting you on a level that is undeniable. For the fact that you have to implement the mental concepts of cognitive dissonance just to function in society. What an idea, huh? Cognitive dissonance just to function in society. Well, what that says is that we all know, feel instinctually, innately, that there is so much wrong. There is so much imbalance. There is so much that is needed to be fixed. But because we feel so insignificant in our ability to change it, we don't even try to put forth an effort. Well, okay, I guess that could be acceptable in some world, but in my world, it's like, what life am I living if that is the life that I'm living? If I see and feel and I'm having all of these internal upsets and unsettled emotions because of all of the vile, chaotic, imbalanced, unfair things I see happening in the world, what life am I living anyway? What's the heights of what I'm doing? What am I hiding? You know, it's like you're avoiding the fight because you're holding on to your life. But what about your life is so valuable? What about your life is so good? What about your life is so pleasing and so settling and so satisfying and so fulfilling that you're not willing to get your ass in the fight? And the fight ain't got to be political. It ain't got to be a physical fight. It ain't got to be war, though it may come to your door because your president just said, go out and unalive the Democrats and things of that nature. So it seems to me he's fomenting and attempting to set off chaos within the country from the top down. That's almost like an order for these cats who are like loyal Trump fans and MAGA fans, and got their deep racist history and roots. So what he's done is set off a social explosion, a social bomb. And I'm saying it now because we may not see the effects yet, but I just saw the tweet or a newscast about the tweet, and I know it's coming because there are a lot of ignorant people who are moved and believe and I guess you could say socially programmed to accept and understand and stand under what their president says. And so you will probably have occasions of chaos. And I think it would be rightfully attributed to this man, Trump, your president, as Willie DC, your president, right? So with him possibly being the last of the presidents in America, obviously coming apart at the seams, what will you do? What are you going to do? Well, before all of this, gets so far along, there is the opportunity for you to attempt to reach your fullest potential before you leave the planet. Most of you seem to have given up on the opportunity of possibly reaching your fullest potential. Your dreams, your visions, your goals, your hopes, your wishes. That shit's out the window for most of y'all. I myself, like I said in many videos long ago, I fought to continue to have my light, to keep my light in this world of chaos. And because most of us have put on so many layers and so many protective armors and coats and suits and, fronts and different roles we got to play, they all the different hats. They say people wear all of this, I don't wear but one hat. I'm going to be the same. I have to be me, and to be anything other than me won't allow me to reach the best of me. So for you who want to be someone other than yourselves, you can keep chasing that fantasy, but you will never be anything but the best that you can be of yourself. And so focusing on yourself and realizing that you do have an effect in this reality that we live in, even if it's just the way that you think, the way that you speak, you can act. So there is a way that you can make some changes in this world that would affect the greater presence in the world. They have done studies on say 100 people meditating in an extremely violent city and 100 people meditating on the idea of peace in that city, and them being able to measure the reduction in crime, the reduction in violence, the reduction in whatever criteria they were looking to measure. This has happened in multiple cities. You can look it up. All of that stuff's available on the internet. But what that is saying is that a small amount of people who have a strong intention, a very focused intention, can affect the environment of the entire population of those people who have matrix formed intention. See, what happens is the matrix keeps your attention divided among so many things and your focus spread among so many things that you really have no effect in the world. And so therefore you feel ineffective. What I've studied and what I understand is that the more you focus on a thing, the more attention you give to a thing with a passionate intention, then you bring resources from the ethers into that reality to create that reality for yourself. Most of us cannot create from our intentions and our thoughts and our focus because our focus is scattered out. It's spread out. And we don't even believe what I just said is real. So if you don't believe it, it'll never happen for you. But if you do believe that there is a factor of reality and power and influence in your thought and in your action and in your passions, then you can understand that these are the actual tools that move the ether. And the masses have been manipulated to move the ethers in the way that the controllers of this matrix designed for them to move. If you're not in control of your own intentions, ideas, and thoughts, then someone else will be. And that is why we are addicted to the sports, because it is a part of this matrix. And because we are so influential, we become part of a herd mentality and we connect to that. And so that's where our energy goes, and we spend our attention at work, and then we come home and we play our video game and we watch some sports. And so we never produce the thing in us that the intender, that the intender, yes, the creator, the intender, the original intender of who you are, put you here for. You have a purpose here. You have a direct intentional purpose from your creator that is still inside of you. And if you're not working towards it every day, if you're not putting some effort towards it daily, then this matrix will overcome you. It will overpower you. You will be trapped within it forever. So at some point, you are going to have to pull yourself away from it and begin to focus on the best forms of your own self. I do want to mention that there is a meeting for the God Body Society as well. That is happening December 13th, which is a Saturday, and it is happening from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. at the Monroe County Public Library. That is in the auditorium. Doors will open at 11 and we will begin to speak at 12, and the event should wrap up about 2 p.m. And so the God Body Society is continuing to grow, and I am loving the idea that those who are awakening to their own purpose here and are ready to kind of detach and leave the matrix, as soon as you can. I mean, I know what it is. We were born into it. And, that's the sad fact. Most of us never have the opportunity to fully express ourselves. And I don't mean just like in our words, but I mean our full being, right? The fullness of our being. I was talking to a friend the other day, and we were talking about one of the scriptures where it talks about, the creator and Jesus, and they say he came to give you life, and you life more abundantly, right? And so one of the things that I notice is that this matrix is designed to take the humanity from you, which is life, right? And if you start to lose these qualities of human characteristic, the compassion, the happiness, the joy, the understand, how all of the characters that make us human, right? All of the characteristics and the traits that make us human, they are being dumbed down. They are being, what is the word that I'm looking for when something happens over and over and you become desensitized? That's the word. So we're being desensitized to a lot of the natural qualities and traits of the human character. And by that happening, it's reducing your life force, your power of influence, your strength of confidence, and your ability to move the ether. Just the reality. The ether is here, and it's going to be proven shortly. It is a merging of quantum physics and understanding of spirituality. Your mind your thoughts have material substance to them. Your thoughts, your attention, your focus, your vision has material substance known as quantum or quanta. And so the quantum realm is somewhat merging with the understanding of ancient spirituality and the fact of our spiritual lives, and is explaining some of it. Yeah, they don't know that they're explaining it, but because I understand spirituality and I study some of the, novice levels of quantum physics, I can understand some of the things that are going on there. And it comes down to the simple idea, and how I try to relate it to the average person I speak to about it, is the idea that we can feel someone staring at us, and that we've stared at other people and we've seen them turn around as though they felt, us staring at them. And so in the scientific realm, they would say that is anecdotal evidence. So it's not really relevant. There is no way we could prove its truth, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But for us as regular walking around everyday humans, it's pretty common for us to recognize that as a truth. And because we can recognize that as a truth, we can recognize that there is some substance of energy, of material, of something moving between my eyes and this person who keeps turning around every time I look at them, because they can feel the weight of my stare. And why I turn around and someone's looking at me, because I felt the weight of their stare. So that is the reality of your attention, which is your focus, and the example of it having some material substance that is relating to the person who is being stared at and the one who is looking. So by that measure alone, you can recognize that is an effect, that you have some effect, some effect, some power, some relevance of transformation in just looking at someone and just staring at someone. There is some level of transformation or interaction that causes them to pay attention to you. So something has changed when you stare at them. And this is what they're studying and understanding with the double slit experiment. It reacts when it's stared at. The photon changes or collapses into a solid one thing once it's paid attention to. Before it's paid attention to, it's a wave of possibility. Yeah, it's not a thing until it's paid attention to. But what's relevant about that for me and you is that this explains the depth of meditation, of prayer, of how we speak to each other. When you hear people talk bad and you feel that in your chest, and you say, damn, that's, it affects you internally. There's nothing physical happening, but the power of their words have physical influence on something that is connected inside of you, that is another layer of your being. So when they stare, you can feel it. When they say bad things, you can feel it. When they say good things, you can feel it. So that tells you there is a spiritual side to your life that is in existence, that you interact with every day, yet you become so unaware of it because the matrix has your attention span spent everywhere else. The way that you begin to master self is to pay attention to self, not by mom's standards or your buddy's standards or, your famous favorite actor or whoever you may think has a standard. It has to be by your standard. And so by your standard, you must have a level of where you will and will not go, what you will and will not do, and a measure of what makes you who you are. And for most of us, that ain't really established. It's like whatever the crowd says, we'll go with. We might try that because we don't really know who we are. We don't really know why we're here. We don't really have a purpose. So, if somebody say something that sound good and the timing right, I might try that. That's not how I think you reach your highest point and purpose in this life. Some people say you're on this planet just to live. I don't believe that. They say, oh, it's just to experience. What is life about? It is just to experience. I believe that each soul is here to reach its highest potential. I don't think I'm here just for the experience of life. I don't think you're here just for the experience of life, because this is some boring shit. It's kind of depressing because nothing seems fair, balanced, or right. So I feel like my soul says I'm supposed to be sharing. Hey, this doesn't seem right. Anybody else agree? Hey, it looked like we all going off a cliff. I don't want to go off that cliff. I'm gonna go this way. Anybody want to come this way? So I feel like that's what I'm supposed to do. Hey, anybody notice that this don't feel like what we're supposed to be doing? Anybody notice that nobody in my generation, my family's generation, generations back, reached their fullest potential? Do you think people have greater things within them? I think there are even famous people that we see today. If you ask them personally, is there more that you could give? Is there more in you? Have you given all that you have? How many people? Anyway, I consistently think about how many people never reach their fullest potential before they die, before they leave, right? They got us trapped in a trick, in a game, thinking this matrix is really important. And we have so forgotten that each individual has the goal and the intention of a purpose and an important reason for being here. And we have to shake the matrix. We have to get that mindset out of there. We have to understand that each individual is extremely valuable, and within each individual is something great. And that if we care enough about our future, our children, our grandchildren, then we will seek to discern what those great things are within our children, at least in our children. If we ain't gonna get the best out of ourselves, can we try to get the best out of our children? Maybe our grandchildren, some generation in the future, that the focus of our human movements are about us reaching our highest potential, finding our natural gifts, letting them bloom, blossom, and see what they bring to the world. That sounds like a wonderful place to me. That sounds like a whole better, hopeful situation than looking at this BS that's going on under y'all president talking about hang them. Wow, this is the president. So I felt the need to get on here and say that, but I also needed to alert the world, yes, once again, that the God Body Society is meeting here in Bloomington, Indiana, Monroe County Public Library, December 13th from 11 to 2, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. In the auditorium at the Monroe County Public Library. Please be there. I myself will be speaking, and there will be others speaking. This is all about us making our own moves toward a better future versus watching what's happening and letting it ultimately destroy our interior selves, because I don't believe the human being is built to endure and withstand the chaos of the way that the world is moving and to remain healthy. I believe that if we don't put forth the effort to make the changes, to make a better world, that it's not going to be a place where we can find the island where we'll separate and it won't be affecting us. I don't believe that is I don't think that's happening. I think we're at a stage where either you're going to recognize what is going on, you're going to pull out your best, and you're going to be that, or you're going to try to hide in your house and say, well, my family cool and we got enough and everybody's straight over here. But that ain't reality. You're hiding. You're playing a game with your internal self. Your internal self knows this is really all that's left. It's either get your punk ass up and start making something happen towards a better world, or become a victim of the world that's happening, because there won't be an in-between. You either the in-between people gonna get ripped in half. You're gonna either stand on this side or you're gonna stand on that side. But it's coming to a pretty obvious position of where you have to stand. And I, for one, stand with the light. I stand with the love. I stand with the righteousness. I stand with all of the people that's left on the planet reaching their highest potential. And that's working toward bringing a better future to this world versus sitting around, watch this shit fall and collapse around us. And then we're going to all be looking around like, what the hell happened? And the despair. That's stupid. That's ignorant. That's a waste of time. I see what's happening. I know what's happening. I know what's coming. And I know I can't say I know many of you feel exactly what I'm talking about, whether you see this video or not. You feel what I'm talking about. The transformation is not going to stop. So what are you going to do in relation to it? Are you going to be a part of its heightness, the heightening of our species? Or are you going to sit in despair and cry and give the negative energy and feed into that? It's a matter of choice. You got an option and opportunity to feed into either one. You can feed into the sadness and the brokenness and the weakness and the despair and the hopelessness, or you can feed into get your punk ass up. Let's get over here and get something popping. Let's make it happen. Let's talk about it at least. If we talk about it and we get enough of us talking about it, maybe we can go and do something about it. And if we can do something about it, maybe we can get a whole movement moving. And if we get a whole movement, then we can probably change the world. But it got to start somewhere. So right here in Bloomington, Indiana, what that sound like? Bloomington, a place where things grow, right? So in small Bloomington, Indiana, we will build the God Body Society out. We will all begin to shake the matrix. And everybody who know what I'm talking about, I really would appreciate if you get your punk ass up and come on down and get involved, because the relevance of the more of us is the same as the 100 monkey. Okay, I don't know if y'all know the 100 monkey, but there is a theory that 100 monkeys on an island, once 100 monkeys do it, the monkeys all over the island know the same information, regardless of them being in the vicinity of the lesson being taught. So that's what I'm saying. If we get enough of us working towards the ideas of a better world and the God Body Society and children reaching their fullest potential and all the light and the love and everybody being happy and growing and supporting each other, if we have that vision and enough of us had that vision, then we can bring that kind of energy to our town and from there extend it out. So I'm not going to worry about who's not coming. I'm worried about who is coming. So please come down. In fact, we'll have food and everything this time. Okay. Just to make it more appealing and more friendly. So come on down, please come down. And it's all in love. It's all in love. It's all about you being your best. It ain't about you coming to support me. It's about us supporting one another. Okay. And, this is about you having a vision and me helping you build it, and me having a vision and you helping me build it. That's what this is about. Us building our visions together and watching that world come into reality versus sitting back, waiting and complaining and being sad and heartbroken, man. Because you can't get much else from the way that this world is going other than the things that I'm talking about. If you still have some humanity in you, you gotta, if you're looking at the way that the world going and through the news and the media and the social media, bro, it's bad. And if you have no human compassion in you left and it's been drained out, or you're just so depressed and sad, it's a plan. It's designed that way. So you have to, within yourself, remember who you are. Remember your 5-year-old self who was all about love, who was all about open love and caring and just a big ball of love and happiness and freedom. And you just want everybody to be happy. And remember that kid, remember that person, remember that being, because they're still in there. They just got layers of shit that happened at 5, at 7, at 9, and your mama said, and your cousin had, and you got to fight at school, and the teacher did this. And all of the things that happened to us along the way cause us to cover up our light. That's what I talk about when I say I fought to keep my light on. So by that measure, that is the only reason I am the one who is calling the God Body Society together. And it's not because it's for me. It's for us. It's our time. And if we don't get up now, we will probably not be able to get up. Your president just said, hang all the Democrats he don't agree with. If you're not aware of what that means, man, come on. If that ain't a dog whistle, y'all better wake up, man. Y'all better wake up quick too. because the agenda is moving. And so make your agenda move as well. Come and join our agenda if you ain't got one. Please, we need each other. One love, fam. And I ain't gonna hold y'all no longer. But all roads lead to spirit, and science is about to prove it. One love.